temperature dropped quickly in the bedroom where you staged the monitoring equipment.
Mr. Teller, rats!
And the rats scurry out of the shadow and immediately rush towards you.
I'm just gonna holler as loud as I can, stomp, try and get the other two's attention.
In one smooth movement, I am going to pull out my bow staff.
I am just gonna look at Tyrell. Give him the eyes.
I'm like, oh my god, a rat! Like, throw the rat out the window.
Hey guys, I think I found something.
I want to go back to when we first saw that person come from the barn.
You see this staticky haze that appears at the entrance to the barn. It moves across the frame and then vanishes out of sight. What you find is a business card for somebody called Clarice Winterbourne.
I came out here to make sure there was no spiritual interference, and now all of a sudden I gotta deal with critters and varmints. I don't deal with rats, and I don't understand why she had me come out here in my good boots to stomp on rats.
You hear Tyrell holler for you from the other room, and he's at the other end of the downstairs. So you're the room closest to the basement door. He's at the room furthest from the basement door, and you make your way over to it, and you find him sitting next to the computer, sitting behind the computer. He's got this kind of orange glow across his face.
What are you hollering about, bud?
So, I found this card. Looked like he was talking. Oh, we were talking to some kind of medium, like a month before Wallace died.
Can I, not rudely, but definitely like with the like, I wasn't gonna ask permission, I was gonna ask forgiveness energy, just like snatch the card, not like aggressively, but just like, thank you.
He just go like.
She does have a gun in her hand, by the way, as she reaches.
Yeah, he just gotta be like, take it.
The gun was for the rats. She put it back in the holster.
I'm not a rat.
I ain't never been a stool pigeon. I'm so sorry. So yeah. No, she's not just walking around like clearing corners with the gun. She's just not happy about the rat situation, and doesn't have any other weapons, so she's decided to shoot the rats. But I will say, you said there was a phone number on there, correct?
There is. There's a phone number and an email address.
Okay, I would like to call the number, if that's okay.
That's okay with
And
me.
he's also going to point out to the others arrive the email that he is kind of snooping in on.
Now, you said it was Clarice Winterbourne. Is that the woman who runs the occult shop, or is this a completely different person?
No, this is a different person.
I was hoping that they already knew each other.
Does not. So you're going to call?
Yes.
Okay. And what time of day do you think it is right now?
So we decided to get here around midday, didn't we?
You got here around noon or so, yes.
We set up, it would have been like a couple hours. Like, it's late afternoon right?
Yeah,
Thinking like
I was gonna say
4
before
o'clock.
dinner, but
Like you're getting ready to clock off from work almost.
So
yes.
like 4:30 or so, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'll give you a solid 5.
All right.
When I actually clock off from work.
Okay, so you make that call, and there's a voice on the other end. Winterbourne, communications specialist. How may I serve you today?
Hi, hon, is this Clarice?
This is Clarice. You sound like you know me.
I don't know if you remember me. There was this one time where you came over and you solved just the most sweetest problem for us, and I was wondering if I could actually get some information on this location I'm currently looking at, because it seems right up your alley, but the vibes in the area are just not what I would expect. She does have the gift of gab. I'm going to use that.
Yep. And so this would be a level 3 intellect check. just to
Mhm.
see whether or not she immediately just connects with you or whether she's going to be a little suspicious.
Okay, I do have I am trained in tasks involving positive or pleasant social interactions.
Yeah, so you'd be this would be a 2 for you instead of a 3. So where are you standing at this point, and how much background chatter is she hearing over the phone?
No,
Um,
Roy's not.
Speaker.
she wouldn't put it on speaker, but she would do that thing where you know how like you have a conversation with a little bit more detail than you would normally have
Yes.
if you were keeping the conversation private so other people can follow it. She's doing that.
Okay.
Can I put in an effort for a social situation?
You
Does that
certainly
count?
can. Any role you make, you can do an effort for that.
Okay. And I have 1 asset.
Yeah, and that would put you down to, so you're trained at level 1. You have some effort. That puts you down to a level 1 tactic for this, and so you get a 3 or better would make it work.
Okay. Can I just roll the d20 and if
Certainly.
I get more than a
Yes.
3? Okay.
Yeah, the other one just helps us get the math worked out. But if we know what the math is, you don't have, you can just roll a d20. That's what I would probably do most of the time. That's a
Yes.
9.
Ooh,
That is gonna hit.
that
That
is
would be a
more than
level
a 3.
3. So definitely more than a 3. All right. All right. So we rolled a 9. You need a 3 or better on that one. So that was fantastic. She goes, "Oh, I can definitely help you out. You're familiar with my fees, though, aren't you?"
Sugar, I think you've already been out to this location, though. I'm not sure if you do another set of fees if you're coming back to rework something you
What,
already
what,
did.
what's the location you're at? Let me pull up my notes.
Um, oh, Sugar, it's the old Amherst place.
Amherst. Is that the one in Oasis Valley?
Yeah, the one with all the little bonds and stuff. There seems to be a woman around here who doesn't uh walk amongst the rest of us, but still insists on visiting. I'm not sure if you had anything to do with that.
Wait, there was no woman there. It was just an old man, Wallace, 80, 85, really nice guy. Asked me to come in there to arrange a sit down with his wife. She passed away about a year ago. Martha, yeah, Martha. Here it is, Martha. Martha's her name.
Sure. And when you started opening these portals to talk to people, did you remember to close them successfully?
I am a professional, but you know,
Uh-huh.
but you know, he's everything's okay, right? He's happy, isn't he? He seemed so happy. The conversation went so well.
Well, Suge, he
He-
he's no longer with us. And my
Oh,
concern is that his wife still seems to be.
oh, that doesn't make any sense. That his wife would still be Martha was, you know, I got I got to tell you, I did leave there, and I was feeling a little sick to my stomach when I left. And that's not something that normally happens. I was a little something was off, but yeah, he was such a nice person. He I do these things a lot, and most people are looking for like, okay, Grandpa, where'd you put the will? Where'd you hide the money? It's things like that. Okay, where did I leave my car keys? Can you tell me where my car keys are? Like they're looking for something from the recently departed. Wallace wasn't like that. All he wanted to do is know she was at peace. Once he knew she was at peace, he was happy. It was, I mean, I when I was left there, it seemed like such a burden had been lifted off him.
And nothing else strange
Yeah,
has
no.
happened?
Tell me about this person you're seeing.
So she's on a cell phone, so I can walk around the room and do other stuff while I'm
Yes, you
talking,
can.
right?
And
Is there like a wedding album that I might be able to find? Because we're in the library, and
do you remember
that is
Wallace's
usually
bedroom, where there were
yeah,
pictures all over the wall?
yes, with the
Yes.
rats.
No, there were no rats in Wallace's bedroom.
That wasn't
No, it was an empty bedroom where you set the camera equipment up. Wallace's bedroom was the
okay.
only bedroom that was actually in use in the downstairs, and it's just across the hall from the den you're in. And in there were pictures that spanned the last 30 years or so of Wallace's and Martha's life. And you can see
Okay.
pictures of Wallace there, and you can see Martha through various ages out there. And the person in the window that you saw does not really look like anyone from those pictures.
See, that was concerning. Okay. That was my concern, and I was hoping that that was not the answer to the problem. Um, Suge, while you were here, did anybody or anyone else attempt to get through in your conversation between the Wallaces? I'm sorry, between the Amherst.
Yes. Well, there it was a little harder to make a connection there than what I'm used to. Like there was like a spectral disturbance. You know about that type of stuff, don't you?
I've heard a little bit about it, but why don't you tell me a little bit about what you were feeling?
Well, just it's normal. It's a normal. I hate to use the word seance because it has so many negative connotations in the community, especially around Ocean Valley. But we did a seance, and uh, Amaya, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I thought that's who I was talking to. Yeah, Amaya, when we were doing this, uh, the normal stuff, lights flickering, chills in the air. I heard an echo in the voices and the spirits. But Martha's was so clear, so concise. And she knew, well, I've never met her before. I don't have any frame of reference to say whether she is or isn't the person that they're expecting to see. But for Mr. Wallace, Mr. Amherst, he was fairly convinced he was talking to his wife. And from the look on his face, I have to believe he was. There, there. I do have a note here, and I don't remember why I wrote it down. But maybe it'll make some sense to you. Bettina?
You said Tina like Tina?
Yeah, Bettina, Betina.
Oh, I thought you were saying patina, like old.
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I realized how it came out. That's why I typed it in the chat.
Okay.
So Bettina, and he goes, I, I don't remember. Did Martha mention that name or did Wallace? I don't. But it was. I wrote it down. It was in my notebook. How
All
how did
right.
how did Wallace die?
You know, I'm starting to question that myself, Suge. Um, but it sounds like you did everything to lock uh the communication down with the information you had.
Yeah, it was pretty standard run of the mill type stuff. Like, but I will let you know that I got when I left there, my stomach wasn't feeling quite right, and but, I next day I had some chills myself. I was probably coming down with something.
Oh,
But
Suge, I'm so
I
sorry.
hope I didn't give him anything, did I? I don't think I had a flu.
That man, from the stories I've heard, was far too hardy to be taken out by something as common as a flu. But I do hope you feel better.
I feel much better. It's been quite a while. So
All right.
you're there now, aren't you?
Yes.
So what prompted you to call me?
Well, Sugar, we found your card here, and my concern that is if somebody was doing some communicating, that we wanted to make sure that everything went off without a hitch.
Yeah, I think everything went off without a hitch. But now you've got me second guessing myself.
Well, how about this? We'll come keep you informed if there's anything that you need to protect yourself against. But first, we really need to figure out just who this lady is, who is walking around like she owns the place, because it certainly isn't Mrs. Amherst.
You've got a walker, like a physical.
I'm not sure what we've
Are,
got here, Shug.
are you? What are you talking about? You talking zombie? You talking ghost? You talking nosy neighbor?
I'm hoping for nosy neighbor. Let's cross our fingers.
That's most of the time. That's all it is.
Miss Rosengloss is running through other people's yards again.
I feel like I would have whispered like, we got it on camera.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean she wants to reveal all those cards.
Once more, that's why I'm whispering it to you.
Yeah, no. I and she are tracking that, but she is more trying to like, no, everything's probably fine, because there was also the concern of like rumors getting out of control and stuff. And so to mitigate damage control, oh no, it was probably just some nosy neighbor that we accidentally ran across, and not ghost spectral thing until proven otherwise.
And everyone's okay there. I
No, sugar, we are just right as rain, aside from all of these wonderful woodland creatures we keep running across.
well, can I help you with anything else?
No, but if you ever find yourself in need of a more on field, on site type of representation, now you have my number.
I definitely do, Amaya. I definitely do. Oh, um, something just came to me.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in the light?
You said stay in the light, Shug.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just thought, maybe that's important to you. Sometimes things pop in my head.
Well, I will do just that. And Amaya goes like searching through her backpack for the lamp. She was like, I know a sign from the universe when I hear it.
Okay. And as you are doing that, are you gonna hang up the phone?
She'll do like the sign offs and stuff. Like she's not just gonna hang up in the middle of the
Yeah.
conversation, but she'll thank you and bye.
Have a little chit chat and then get off the phone. Got it.
Yeah.
I need you to make an intellect check. And this is just to see if you perceive something from that conversation beyond the normal.
Can I just do the regular D20, or
You
is there
can.
something
It is
special?
you're gonna need a 9 or better, unless you have something that's gonna help you with your perception from communication.
Perception? Does that count as like the training with positive tasks, or is that something specific
I
that would
think
need to?
don't I don't think that would qualify for this one. I think
That's
because
fine.
the other one kind of more like to social influencing and things like that, and this is more just being aware of how that conversation went.
That is a
Ooh,
D12, not a D20. Don't look at that one.
I was so excited too.
Yeah, well,
I was
Don't look
excited
at that
for GM
one.
intrusion.
yeah,
No, 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 no.
uh,
I want them. I want to see them happy.
Amaya, when did you give
Yes.
her when did you tell her your name?
I did not.
Okay, that's but she was confident she knew who you are.
Yes. And while um Maya doesn't necessarily have like a reputation in the regular community, she does have one in the spiritual community. She also trusts that this woman actually has some sort of like medium powers. Um she seemed to like have her precautions and stuff in place, so she doesn't really think that she's like use your inner eye to see the future, like someone who's putting on a show and not
Yeah.
necessarily. So she is less
This wasn't
freaked out
the
about that.
this wasn't Madame Clarice from the 1-900 infomercial line at 2 in the morning that you
Yes,
might have seen.
that's also why she like chose to be like, hey, keep in contact, because she at least got enough of a vibe to be like, okay, this is someone who at the very least I think is on the level as far as what they are doing spiritually.
Cool.
But I did notice that um Other things that I noticed, but I'm not sure if my character is smart enough to notice.
I think your character is pretty smart, so don't sell her short.
Well, no, she has a thing that's specifically like I didn't pay attention with the academic side of things. I'm more of a social creature.
Okay.
So I am concerned that there was a seance done in a graveyard. That someone was buried here, or a few someones were buried here before the ranch was a ranch. And that is why things are weird.
There is a cemetery out back.
Field trip time.
No, I don't
Is-
like the idea of
But you're
seances
thinking
in
you're thinking
graveyards.
something else, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm thinking that there are bodies under the house, which is again not like the best thing to think. And I do not know if my character would have the same concerns, but I as a player
Can
have those
I make
concerns.
a point real quick?
Yes.
We can go check the graveyard for good old Bettina's name on the headstones, and if she's not here, we start prying up floorboards.
Yes. I don't know if she would suggest the floorboard thing, because I don't know if she would know enough about the rules of seance. So I will ask for a storyteller ruling on whether or not she would know enough about the intricacies to know the graveyard rule. I feel like that's common knowledge, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is.
I think
But
just
Roy's
from
already pulling the pry bar.
the movies and stuff, I think those are reasonable assumptions to make.
Okay.
But I will let you
spinning.
know before you start tearing up the floor in the den that there's a basement underneath you.
Everyone, there's a room down here.
Yeah.
It's got Christmas
Guys.
lights.
This
Tyro
Bettina
the
gal's
scream.
grave, it was huge. She was buried in a giant cement cube.
How'd it go?
All right.
So I talked to Clary. She seems very nice, and at the very least, she's got some sort of gift. Seems like she more talks to people than reads them. But there were a couple of points of concern. Do any of y'all know a woman? No, I wouldn't say woman because I wouldn't necessarily know it's a woman. Do any of y'all have any familiarity with the name Bettina or City, or she's just kind of like fishing out, like, does this ring a bell?
No. I do not think so.
Well,
Well.
she's
No, definitely not.
well, she said she spoke to Mrs. Amherst, and the woman couldn't have been more of a doll, and everything went fine with the ceremony. But this woman who we've seen walking around doesn't seem anything like the woman in the pictures in the bedroom. And like, can I see the graveyard from like the room that we're in?
No, you can't. But if you went back to the room where the dead rats were and looked out the back window, you'd be able to see the graveyard from there.
I have a feeling no one did
Hate
clean
that
it up.
room.
Or we could just go out onto the porch.
When I saw the dog, was that by the cemetery, or was that the bottom right of the map down the road?
That was closer to the barn.
Okay.
So when thinking about the location of the house, the back of the house is facing north, and the cemetery is northeast, and you saw the dog like the southwest where the barn is.
Then I'm less on edge.
Okay.
All right.
There's a crashing sound that comes from the kitchen. Sounds like something fell, hit the floor, clattered, and maybe even rolled around a little bit.
Tyro could get up and
Alright.
go for it.
I was gonna say,
There is a look of just like up to the heavens, like, please, Lord, not another rat.
Yeah,
You
he
want to go
goes.
first, Bud, or do you want me to?
So lead the way, defense.
Alrighty. I'm gonna have my nightstick out just in case. This place is getting to be a bit annoying.
Yeah. So Roy, you cautiously walking down the hall, you running down the hall. Tell me how you're going down the hall to get to the kitchen.
I want to say that he's being cautious, but Roy's not. He's just walking there.
Okay.
He could be walking to the fridge for a beer for all you know. Like,
So
the only
you're
difference
not
we have-
running, but you're not taking anything special as you go through with this.
No, he's slow enough to see where he's going, but he's not like scouring every inch for any danger.
You open the kitchen door and you look inside. And in the room, you see several cans that have been laying on the floor. There is a cardboard box tipped on its side, and there's a cupboard that's open. And inside the cupboard, you see several more cardboard boxes in it. There doesn't appear to be any sign of a rat or dog or creepy lady in white.
I keep my hand on the doorknob, like actually stick my head in there, like look behind the door. A little bit is like just making sure there's absolutely nothing in this room now that I'm actually here.
Cool.
What you see?
Make a might check for me. This is going to be is difficulty 3.
Alrighty.
And basically, this is a tactile feeling you're going to get from this, like to feel something in the room.
I can do that. Said it was what now?
Difficulty
3.
level 3, so you just need a 9 or better.
3. I will spend 1 effort. Why not?
Okay. Ooh, 17. That's very
Nice.
good. And if you click on that apply cost line right underneath the bottom, it'll actually figure out what your cost is going to be. It takes advantage of your edge and all that stuff for you.
Cool. I'm down to 12.
All right. And so you take your hands off the doorknob, and for a moment your hand sticks to the doorknob as you feel the frost that was on it. And then you're looking around the room, and there is a label on the cardboard box. And you see another label on the other cardboard box. And you see all these cardboard boxes are labeled very similar. And inside of each one of them is is like groceries that someone might have picked up. But your hand stings a little bit from the door. You didn't take any damage from it, but you realize that maybe if you'd come in a second or two earlier, that door might have been cold enough to actually, your skin might have stuck to it. You might have had a Christmas Story moment where you're stuck to the door.
Oh God.
No, I'd just have a few less calluses. What's the label on those boxes read?
The label on the boxes, you get closer to them, they are all have pretty much the same thing. They list the name of a grocery store not too far in town, and it says for pickup by Steve Jenkins.
I'm gonna wave everybody else into the room now that I'm fairly certain it's not dangerous. I think whatever was in here, we just missed it. Running around with the ghost right now, I feel. So nothing looks like outright, like actually destroyed. Just a couple of tipped over boxes.
It looks like just a couple of tipped over boxes. You notice that the way the boxes are stacked, they weren't really stacked in carefully on there. They kind of tossed in haphazardly. So it's possible like something small moving behind the box could have nudged it and knocked it over.
I'm gonna take a peek behind him real quick.
Okay.
Did we pass back through the room with the toolboxes on our
That's
way
the
to the kitchen?
basement.
That's in the basement? I thought it was on the first floor.
I think it was in front of the front door, wasn't it?
So in front of the front door, kind of like where the grand entrance is, the hallway, there's the stairways leading upstairs. And there's also all these boxes that they're packing up we're taking Wallace's stuff out. And Jefferson's equipment's there. They're in these plastic containers that have a like a bicycle lock, combination lock on top of them. The
Can I go ahead? I'm sorry.
the workbench that you jumped on top of when you first saw the two rats downstairs, which was in like immaculate shape until you messed everything up, is down in the basement, and there's a big fluorescent light over top of it. But yeah, there are tools, power tools, things down there if you need to get anything. And there might be some other ones in the house, but those are the ones you saw so far.
No,
If
I
you
just
wanna
wanted to run my
break into-
finger on across the top of it to make sure that like these tools have not been sitting here for a while, that there's not like a layer of dust on top of them. Just because we have not seen him physically.
I think I brought this up. He was coming out after us. He wasn't going to be here the first day with us.
Yeah. But his tools and stuff are already here. So I just want to make sure that they have not been here for a while.
The tools in the basement that you saw were clearly there for a while. There was a layer of dust on them when you were down there. They are probably Wallace's tools. The box that's in the entranceway,
Yes.
probably only been there a day.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that our inspector friend wasn't our specter friend.
Okay.
And also, if we want to break into his stuff, since it's really just a bicycle lock, if there's a hacksaw downstairs, we can get into the stuff.
And
I mean, I would like not to break into people's stuff, but I'm not going to stop you from doing it.
I'm just saying, if there's extraneous circumstances, I think I used that word right. It is an option.
Yeah. It is. It's like the combinations on it, like it's a bicycle lock, but not a chain. So like you get a luggage rack or a laptop or not a briefcase lock where it's just got the combination on it. It's that type of lock.
So 4 numbers, 0.
Yep.
4 digits, 0 through 9.
Yeah, correct.
I stand corrected. Use the hacksaw and the plastic, not the lock.
Oh my god. I mean, you could just call the man.
People ruin all the fun. Okay, that is a much better plan than destroying his belongings, because then we have to pay for them, and Mr. Knox does not like doing that too much.
He also might just show up in like a little bit, and you're there just hacking away.
I'm not gonna break it. I'm just saying, if something were to happen and we thought that there might be something useful in there, I'm not breaking into them yet.
Okay.
Or at all, possibly.
Whichever is funnier.
So we are all on our way to the kitchen. I just wanted to make sure I ran my hands across the top of the box as we went there.
Amaya, you kind of drifted behind everybody a little bit. Would you say that's true? Would you say you drifted behind everybody? That you're by yourself for a brief moment? Because I'm about to throw a GM intrusion at you.
I was really, really not wanting to say that, but logically, I feel like I have to agree with that.
All right. So you get, again, 2 experience points, 1 for yourself, 1 to give to somebody else.
Okay. So we'll split, because you guys split last time, so we'll split these.
Okay. There we go. All right. So what I need you to do is I need you to go ahead and you're going to make 2 rolls for me. One is going to be a might roll, and this is a might defense. This is a might defense roll. And the other one, you're going to make an intellect defense roll.
Okay. I don't have anything that does might.
Just straight might.
No, I mean, I was looking at my skills and I was like, nope, I don't have anything for that.
I surprisingly start trained in might defense. Also my only skill.
Somebody cross your fingers for me really quickly that's not terrible.
That's not too
I
bad.
should check and see what we
You're
need
good.
here.
It's a
You need a 12 or better, so look at that.
Okay. All right,
So
that was the scarier of the 2 rolls.
That's perfect. So you did your might roll.
Now, is this
An intellect defense.
social?
This is an intellect defense roll.
So not probably something that I could just like smile and bat my eyes out
This
of.
is not, no.
I didn't think so, but I thought I'd ask.
You could try. It may not work though.
Please don't brain blast me.
All right.
That
Oh, no.
one.
So, Amaya, for a moment, you reach down and rub your hand across the top of the plastic case. And it's this big white plastic case it's very hard. It's got ridges across it. And your mind goes blank.